Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome to your #1 source for Native American television news. It's Native News Today. Back in the studio, Gerald Wofford and Jason Salzman here. Glad to be with you, and my goodness, catching our breath still from the 2013 Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. Gerald, We Are Muskogee is the theme, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We had a great time.
Absolutely, you had a blast out there. We hope that you were able to make the festival part of your weekend last week, and if you got a chance to come by, say hi to us, emceeing the parade or some of the other events, I tell you what, just a spectacular weekend.
It was awesome. You know, we were so many places, and as you saw last weekend, we certainly hope that you enjoyed us being live on location out there at the Stomp Dance, but certainly lots of other things happening throughout the weekend. And don't worry, folks, if you weren't able to make it out to the Claude Cox Omniplex or any of the other sites, the parade, hey, we got you covered right here this week on Native News Today. Speaking of the parade, man, we had a great time out there, didn't we? That was a lot of fun.
I tell you what, that was so spectacular, Jason. I think that was the biggest parade they've ever had.
Biggest parade they've ever had, yes.
And just an opportunity for us to just meet all the people, and even getting out there and just really getting on the street, talking with the people in the parade. That was really impressive. Well, that was cool.
You know,
to get to talk with everybody.
Those are my people. You know, I got to get in you know, involved and in the midst of it, and make sure that you know, just because they're driving by in the parade, hey, we got to make them do a little work. You're not going to just be able to sit there and wave and smile.
Parade,
we're going to put the microphone in your face and let you talk to the folks. So it was a lot of fun.
That's right. That's right. And then the other events, as we mentioned, Stomp Dance. We're going to kind of look at that again and everything. And you put together an impressive little montage.
And it was a lot of fun. You know, really, it was squeezing a weekend into 5 minutes. And I think a lot of people, you do not want to go anywhere. We're going to be showing you that later on in the program. It's just a way to, you know, experience the festival in a short amount of time if you didn't even get a chance to come out. So I'm very proud of that and very, you know, glad to put it together and show you here this week on the program. We also got the chief of the Muskogee Creek Nation for a few minutes to talk with us, and also RJ and J. Paul from the Swamp People History Channel. A lot of people out to see those guys. They were gracious enough to give a few minutes to Native News Today. So going to have those two as well, and then we'll revisit a little fun you had out last
encore
Thursday.
Of that.
Yes, absolutely. Encore. People are asking for it again. They want to see Gerald with the hog meat.
Oh boy. I did get some responses this past week, so yeah, we will show that again.
Oh, absolutely. You got to give the folks what they want. This show is about you folks, the viewers. So hey, if you like something, we don't have a problem repeating and showing it one more time for everybody out there that enjoys that. So kick back, get ready to go back and revisit the festival. We're going to take our very first break, and we'll be right back with all that. You're watching Native News Today.
Pumakasam gadat, ibufanga, nage, adigat, punhayadit omega, azayididet omis.
Diosnuk, that's true. Throughout the generations, our elders have taught us to preserve, share, and more importantly, protect the abundant natural resources we have here in Oklahoma. We are the original environmentalists and protector of these resources. The Muskogee Creek Nation believes tribal and state governments must work together to ensure future generations will have clean air and clean water as the ultimate legacy. What is good for Oklahoma tribal nations is good for all Oklahomans. Remember, tribes are truly the original Oklahomans.
Every 7 minutes, someone loses their eyesight. What do people with low vision look like? What do they see? Project Native serves Native Americans by offering hands-on workshops using low vision equipment that help with everyday activities. Please call 918-456-5581 for details about this free program. If you are Native American with low vision problems, let us help. Call 918-456-5581.
The Muskogee language has always been a part of my life, and so I grew up speaking the language, and I've used it throughout my life. I found that people were interested in learning the language and wanting to revitalize it. The language immersion method of teaching is one that I'm comfortable with. It's a way of reconnecting with our histories and our cultures, and to give this gift or pass this gift on to our children. Mado, Hadam Chihijalis.
And welcome back to Native News Today. Jason Salzman, Gerald Wofford, covering our post-festival show, if you will, some of the highlights and the great things that made the 39th Annual Creek Nation Festival so memorable. And of course, words from our Principal Chief to just highlight and recap everything was so great.
Yeah, you can't be at the Creek Festival without talking to the head honcho, you know, the Principal Chief of the Muskogee Creek Nation, George Tiger, and as he says in this interview, he's been at them all. He's been at every one of them, and from the very beginning, and has seen the vision come to life. You know, Claude Cox started the festival as a way for folks to get together and have a homecoming and of sorts, and it's really turned into that. And I know if Claude Cox were alive today, he'd be very pleased and glad of what it's become. It's become something so much bigger than any of us, even a few years ago, Gerald, thought it could be. So a lot of great things happening, and Principal Chief George Tiger was gracious enough to give us a few minutes and talk about the festival weekend with Native News Today. We're here with Principal Chief George Tiger as we are right in the middle of the 39th Annual Muskogee Creek Festival. Chief, you got to be pleased with not only the numbers of people coming out, but the quality of the festival so far. It's been great.
Been a great festival, and I still say we're going to break some record numbers as we did last year. We had a great start. We just had a great parade. We just finished up with that, and more and more people coming in, even earlier than last year. So it should be a great ending to most of the festivities this afternoon, but you know, we're already looking forward to next year. It's
so great because, and I was talking to Molly earlier just about the parade specifically. I think it's the biggest one they've ever had, most entries ever. In fact, I heard some folks talking how it was bigger than the Red Earth Parade. Yes. So the Muskogee Creek Festival just keeps blossoming into something so big, and really it's about getting so many people down here to not only share who we are, and we are Muskogee, that is our theme. Right. So share who we are, but also bring in the folks and let them know a little bit about our tribe.
No, you know, that's why we started. I've been to every one of them. I remember when Chief Cox started this, it was basically to allow for people to come home, and those that live within the jurisdiction come and enjoy all these festivities, and each year it's just growing and growing and growing.
Well, Chief, we certainly want to let you get back in here. Actually, you're about to meet up with RJ and J. Paul, just another great part of this festival, so this is going to be a pretty fun little meet and greet.
Yep, it will be. We're looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you very much. Principal Chief George Tiger, the Muskogee Creek Nation, at the 39th Annual Muskogee Creek Festival.
You know, Jason, we don't always encore some of the stories, but we've heard that this one kind of gained some popularity, and you know, the hog meat right before the stomp dance really got popular.
Well, it's popular in general. I mean, it's yeah, that's something that I'll never turn down, and certainly you either.
Right.
And we definitely have heard some good feedback. Everybody loves to see Gerald out having a good time, and this was just one of those times where we said, "Hey, Gerald, don't worry about being, you know, Dan Rather or very, you know, stately or anything like that. Just go out there and have a good time."
Dan Harjo or something.
Yeah, exactly. We have realized that when you do that, the folks just can't get enough of that stuff. So this was Gerald actually out before the stomp dance, and like we said, we showed you last week, but so many people are like, we got to see that one more time, and this guy was having a great time before the stomp dance happening out there with the hog meat cookers, and what a pairing, what a story.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at hog meat heaven here. The opening of the Creek Nation Festival always begins with the stomp dance, and it wouldn't be proper to have the stomp dance without a great meal beginning the night's festivities. We're going to be talking with some of the gentlemen here that make this hog meat so great and the overall festival experience something to remember. JD, what is it you're doing here exactly right now?
Frying this hog meat up, pulling it out, and these guys are reloading it and putting more in there.
How long does it take to make this?
3-4 hours.
How long y'all been at it?
Today, about 30 minutes.
How much is the amount that you're making here today?
It's 320 pounds of hog meat, 180 pounds of potatoes, and 120 pounds of beans.
How many is that expected to feed?
About 500.
How many years you been doing this?
Oh, shoot. I've always watched my grandma do it, so all my life.
So you just kind of got the family secret, if you will, passed along?
I guess. I thought everybody cooked like this.
No, sir, not everyone does. Now, what are you doing here?
We're just pulling these taters out and making sure, you know, they're soft and ready to be eaten. And
How long do they usually have to cook?
they cook about 20, 30 minutes. Oh, yeah. Yep.
So it passed the test. Are you getting me eating this? Is that what? Oh, okay. Okay. Very good. Exquisite. Delectably insatiable.
You can't beat hog meat. It's good stuff.
Amen, brother.
You know, Jason, what makes the festival so special is when guests come in. Of course, we had great musical talent here, but a lot of the other talent, too, that comes in and visits.
Yeah, and, you know, that's what it's all about. It's getting the folks in, and, you know, you bring them in with these big stars, and then you let them know about the Muskogee Creek Nation, and you even educate the people that come in, you know, these celebrities about the Muskogee Creek Nation. Native Pride. RJ and J. Paul Molinaire is what they wear on that show, Swamp People from the History Channel. They came down to the Muskogee Creek Nation. They themselves are Homa Indians on the Homa Reservation down there in Louisiana, and they came up to learn a little bit about the Muskogee Creek Nation and visit with the people. That's what I loved about visiting with RJ and J. Paul. You know, they didn't want to just come and, you know, grab their 15 minutes out at the festival and shake a few hands. They wanted to know about the Muskogee Creek Nation. So they even stopped and talked with us right before they met the chief. And here's a little bit more with RJ and J. Paul.
Hi, my name's RJ Molinaire, and this is my son, J. Paul Molinaire, and we are the real Homa Swamp People. I fish alligators because it's in my blood, and I love it. It's not only something I do because of a job, it's just something that's part of me. It's just I've been doing it for so long, and I was taught how to live off the land, and that's just part of something that stayed in me.
Everything my dad taught me was hands-on about alligator hunting, and look, I still have my hands.
He's been on the water with me since he's 3 years old, and I put a life vest on him, and I brought him out there, and deer hunting, you name it, duck hunting, J. Paul was with me, and I tell you what, there's not too many things that J. Paul cannot do.
I think the best little alligator hunting adventure I had was when I was in high school. I shoot this alligator. This thing comes out of the water like a whale. I mean, this thing comes flying out of the water. It flips over, we would go over there and grab it. Now, just me and my brother-in-law, he's maybe 150 pounds. I was maybe, at that time, I was probably 150 pounds myself. We got a 1,000-pound beast we got to put in this boat. We finally end up getting this boat, this alligator in the boat. I get it home, tagged it, bring it in. I have to leave, go back to school. So my dad gets to take care of the alligator, and he gets all the glory for the alligator. I get a 12-foot alligator in the boat, home, before time was over, and my dad gets all the props for it. He gets all the pictures taken with it, and all the money and everything out of it. So
you had to go back to school.
The moral of the story was, I did a good deed for the day.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
Down here in the swamp, our family has to stay together. That's how we live, that's how we survive. I mean, without family, you have nothing down here.
The person who taught me to fish alligators was my mom. She's the one who taught me how to fish. We were taught how to trap. We were taught how to hunt. We were taught how to, you know, to provide for the family.
If anybody never been to the swamp, you're missing out. You need to get out and enjoy the outdoors.
You're gonna see turtles sitting on a log just sunning themselves. You'll see alligators just on land sunning themselves. You'll see different birds that, I mean, you name it, there's birds everywhere. It's just beautiful. We call it the 5-minute deal. 5 minutes you could be in a duck blind, 5 minutes you could be in a deer stand, 5 minutes you could be fishing either bass or you could be fishing saltwater fishing. So it's all right here in the palm of your hand. And people say, why you hang out over here, RJ? Why you stay here? It's because to us it's paradise.
If you haven't had a chance to get out and see the swamp, and you really want to see the swamp, there's many different options you could take. You come out and have a good swamp tour. There's many local businesses that take you out in the swamp. You get airboat rides, regular boats, outboards. There are many different ways to see the swamp. So if you want to see the swamp, come out and get on a tour. When you're taking a swamp tour, 9 out of 10, you're going to be on an airboat. An airboat, some people call it a fan boat. It's air thrust, so you can go over land, you can go over the swamp, water, it doesn't matter, you're good to go.
You know, I've been driving the airboat for many years now, and it took me a while to learn all the tricks, and there's a lot of ins and outs, so you need to know what you're doing when you're driving an airboat. But once you get it down pat, an airboat is ideal to do what we do. You can go places and go places with an airboat. They don't have to have water, it can be dry land. If you have a bucket list, you need to try it because it's something that you really would like.
Being a tourist in Louisiana, I do not recommend you going out gator hunting without an excellent guide. Not just a good one, an excellent one.
You can stay home and watch this on TV.
Or you can come down to Houma and experience it for real.
We're here with Swamp People's RJ and J. Paul Molinaire joining us from nation to nation this weekend, from the Houma Nation to Muskogee Creek Nation. And guys, so glad to have you part of the 39th Annual Muskogee Creek Festival. RJ, it may be your first time up here, right?
Yeah, in Tulsa so far, yeah. Tell you what, this morning was really a beautiful morning, great time, we had a really good time.
Yeah, and J. Paul, you guys went through the parade earlier. What is said to have been our biggest parade ever here at Muskogee Creek Nation. I know you guys are glad to be a part of that, but it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun out there.
Oh, it was good. It's always a good time when you're meeting good people, you know. So it was a great time, you know, good, beautiful morning, and hey, so like I said, some good people.
What's great about you guys is you're on a big platform, the History Channel Swamp People, but instead of letting it just fall by the wayside and not be something that they put at the forefront of the show, you guys made sure that your Native heritage, Native pride was going to be at the forefront. That's what you were going to be about on the show. And you get a chance to tell a lot of people about the Houma Indians, but Indians everywhere have sort of jumped on with you guys and had it as a prideful thing. Are you excited about that?
I'm really excited about it because, you know, that's how that's how I got on the show. They wanted to show how the Houma tribe that's not really known because we far out down deep in the south, and the History Channel said, you know, we'd like to see if the Houma tribe still exists, and we do, and we still live off the old way. And I'm proud to say that, and I want to thank history, and I'm glad that we get to share it with the world.
Yeah, and Jay, also, you know, you talk about how you've learned this from your dad. He learned it from the further generations. So it's something that you pass down to yours too, and that's the way you guys keep it as far as your customs, because gator hunting's part of that.
Correct, man, correct. How you said it's with all the tribes and all our family, you pass it down, traditions down generation to generation. That's keeping it alive, you know. I mean, that's living life, you know. You got to keep it going. And believe it or not, that's just part of our ways, being a Native Americans. You know, you pass it down. You got to keep your traditions alive, and I'm glad we get to show it on the History Channel and portray it like it is, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, and for have you guys up is such a treat here. It's great because we're getting a lot of crowds out, know you guys, part of it, part of the show, part of what you're doing, and want to come out and meet and greet. So you guys will be talking to some folks out here, I believe, a little bit later, meeting some folks and getting out amongst the people. It's going to be a great weekend, so thank you guys so much for being with Native News today.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, man, Jay.
Thank you, buddy. It was
All
a
right,
good
thanks
time.
you guys. All right, 39th Annual Creek Festival with the Swamp People, the guys from Houma, Louisiana.
You know, we keep bragging how great the festival was, and it really was. And you and some of our other great spectacular film crew was able to capture some of those highlights, some of those bit parts that made this festival so memorable.
And what brings us to, you know, as we come to the conclusion of today's show is really, you know, we could talk about, like Gerald said, we could talk about the festival all day long, tell you how great it is, but we thought we'd just show how wonderful it is and some of the scenes and really the aura of the festival. You know, it's just it's a great weekend. You can't just tell somebody about it, Gerald. You know, I mean, you can't just say, oh, you got to come out. You know, it's neat. But being in, to borrow a term from Gerald here, Indian heaven. I mean, that's the three days of it. You know, 3 or 4 days of it, absolutely. And so with that in mind, we thought, don't tell them about it. Show them the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival. So without further ado, here it is. We are Muskogee, the Muskogee Creek Nation Festival.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that awesome footage from the 39th Annual Creek Nation Festival. And Jason, we have to point out part of what is making our production format even more creative is the recent acquisition, if you will, of the flight camera.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys enjoyed some of those copter shots. We have a little quad helicopter there that takes a GoPro video up, camera. I'm sure a lot of you are like, what's that? But it's, as some of you may know, but it's a little camera that could go up inside of that helicopter and take some shots that we may never get otherwise. And as you can see, just great points of view out at it with a big crowd, and you can see everything. So we really love having that in the tool belt now, and it's something that, you know, as we take it out, a lot of the kids run to and flock to, but even the adults, you know, look up in the, it's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's Native News Today, and their helicopter. So
I think the kids were competing in the Olympics there, and we're getting ready to run, and all of a sudden, you know, this plane comes up out of nowhere, and they all kind of just flock to it.
I know, it's one of those things where it was the star of the show, so very neat. You know, a few of the we can go ahead and pass along a few of the winners of some of the tournaments this weekend, and I think Fast Pitch was Native Brothers. I think won the Fast Pitch.
Congratulations!
And those guys, and I think the women's. I don't know the women's Fast Pitch.
Native Sisters?
Native Sisters, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. But congratulations to all the winners out there. And speaking of winners, the Muskogee Media team here, the Muskogee Media Department, just announced the Native American Journalists Association Annual Media Awards. Muskogee Media took home 7 of those awards. This guy right here, Gerald Wofford, actually took home 1 of those 7 for a photo he took. If you folks remember the wildfires that took place and some of the devastation, or actually it was a tornado devastation, or which one was it?
It was the fire, yes.
Was the fires. Okay, the fires in the Manford area. Gerald was recognized from the Native American Journalists Association as an award winner for a photo he took. So a man of many talents. Not only can he sit behind the desk here, not only can he go out and post a great story from the hog fry, but he can also take a pretty good snapshot.
Well, when you guys show me where to press the record button, and
there's nobody better.
I can go from there.
Whenever we set him up for success, there's nobody better. I tell you what, in the business, this guy right here. So congratulations to Gerald, of course, and all the folks at Muskogee Media that won awards: Sterling Cosper, Gary Fife, Darren DeLon, and then as well as General Excellence for Muskogee Nation News.
Yes, right.
Absolutely, great job there with those awards, and congratulations to everybody. Hey, if you can't catch us here on the CW, which we love it when you do, you can always catch us online. Check out our websites and our various social media sites, Facebook, Twitter. We're all over the place. Native News Today, we've got you covered. You don't just have to wait on Saturday and wait to see the guys. You can check us out throughout the week. Gerald?
Our producer Jared Moore and all those that make Native News Today so great. We hope that you take care. God bless.
And we'll be seeing you soon. Right. Actually tied now with the Pirates. Both of them best record in baseball. Cardinals have the best record in baseball. Aren't even